Okay, let's look at a couple of median finding the missing values now that we've done some median questions. We'll start out with one that is pretty basic, pretty simple. The first one here, the median of the data set is 14. What number is missing? And so we remember that when we are talking about median, we are talking about first ordering numbers from least to greatest. And I'm going to go ahead and type these 8, 9, and I'm leaving a bit of space in between so that we have space to add other numbers if necessary. Then we have 15 and 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got those 4 numbers. And I'd like that space to be a little bit smaller. Okay, so we've got those 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we know that the median is the middle. So where is the middle of those numbers? We could go ahead and think about that crossing off thing. We did 1, 1, 1, 1, but it's pretty clear that the middle is right here in between. There's 2 on this side, 2 on this side, and if 14 is supposed to be the middle number, well, then that means 14 just goes right here in the middle. So my final data set, if we wanted to write it out, would be 8, 9, 14, 15, 16, and the median is right here in the middle. So that one's pretty easy because of the fact that there is an odd number of numbers here. Since it's an odd number of numbers, we're going to have one middle number. Now, what happens if we go to a data set very similar to that, but now we've got another number? We've got 6 numbers. We've got 8, 9, 15, 16, and 20, and we've got to fit another number in there so that the median is 14. Now, I'm not going to go right here and put a 14 here. Let me just put that there. If I put 14 here, well, now my 2, these are my 2 on this end. Those are my 2 on this end. These 2 are my middle. 14 and 15 in the middle. What's the middle of that? The middle of that is 14 and a half. That does not give me a median of 14. So I can't just go ahead and write that 14 there. That's not going to work. We need to kind of ask ourselves, what number can I put there so that 14 will be in the middle of it and something else? So I want 14 here as my middle, but I want something else here on the other side that makes 14 halfway between it and 15. Now, a lot of students will be able to say, oh, well, 14 is halfway between 13 and 15, so that's pretty easy. I can figure that out. But if it were a greater distance apart and it would be harder to figure out, we could again go to that formula idea like we did with finding the missing value in mean, and we could say that 14 is going to be halfway between 2 numbers, right? That's how we find the average of the 2 numbers. So if we add the 2 numbers together on either side of 14 and then divide by 2, we get 14. So that means, solving this equation, the 2 numbers on either side of 14 have to add up to 28. 28 divided by 2 is 14. 28 minus the 15 that we already have gives us 13 as the other value. Okay, so if we think about that again, as we're looking at the 2 middle values, the median is the average of the 2. 13 plus 15 is 28. 28 divided by 2 gives us the 14. We'll look at the same thing here in this last example. The median of this data set is 6. What number is missing in this case? So we'll write these out. We've got 1, 3, 8, 11, sorry, that's a 1, and 13. And again, this is 6 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means we will have 2 in the middle. Well, right now 8 is the middle, except we need to add another number somewhere. If our median is 6, then the median is going to be here because that's between 3 and 8. So 6 is the median, so that gives us 3 numbers on this side. I need to have 3 numbers over here. So there's got to be another number over here. So something plus 8 will equal a number. When we divide it by 2, we will get 6, right? So 6 divided by 2 is 12. Sorry, 6 times 2 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So I need a number right here. When I add it to 8, I'm going to get 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. That would mean that 4 is my missing value, my missing number. And we can, again, check that out. So we have 1, 3, 4 on this side, 8, 11, 13 on that side. I've got 3 on each side so that my median here is 6. When I find the average of those two middle numbers, 8 and 4, 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So that can be a little bit tricky for students, but if we do encourage them to use a formula and set it up using the information that they know, it makes it a little bit less of guess and check. Could they check? They could guess and check here. They could have said, okay, this is 3 and this is 6. 3 and 8 can't be the middles together because 3 and 8 is 11. Divided by 2 is 5.5. So 3 and 8 could not be the middle. Like I couldn't have put a 2 over here to make these the middle. That won't work. I could test out 4, I could test out 5, I could test out 6, I could test out 7. They could test out all of those numbers and do a guess and check until they get to 6 as the middle number, or they could use the formulas. All right, if you have any questions, let me know.